just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
March 3rd, 1991, Rodney King was driving on an LA freeway, and CHP attempted to stop him for speeding. And this led to Rodney King leading them on an 8-mile high-speed chase. We didn't see any of that, right? We don't know anything about that. But what we do know is that they did get him. They did pull him over. And what we do know is that there was this random dude chilling at his house, chilling at his apartment, and he had just bought this shiny new video camera. See, kids, back then, we didn't have this awesome camera that we have on our phones nowadays. Non-existent. We wanted to record something. We had a big ass video camera. We had to put it on our shoulders. Had to make sure it was charged. Put a video cassette in it. It was like walking around with the big ass VCR. Kids don't even know what a VCR is. I'm talking to the moon right now. Excuse me. But anyway, yeah, this guy, this random dude, pulled out his shiny new camera, and he just so happened to catch one of the most infamous pieces of video in history, at least from a law and crime standpoint. The Rodney King is ass whooping, is what I like to call it. Now, I was a kid watching this. I remember seeing it clear as day, even though the resolution was on the TVs wasn't as good as it is now, not as clear. You couldn't zoom in and all that. But I remember being 12, 13, math sometime is off a little bit. Looking at that like, yeah, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. I'm gonna have a dog in the fight. At that point, I was cool with cops. I maybe messed with a cop one time at that point in my life, but I was cool with, I had no reason to know anything different about cops. And a lot of cops were pieces of trash, which I came to find out later. So I'm like, okay, but just from a regular 13-year-old standpoint, that looks not good. Looks like the guy on the ground's not doing anything, and they're just hitting them and hitting them. I remember thinking that. I remember hearing adults say the same thing. I remember hearing people on the news. I remember turning on Sally Jesse Raphael and Donahue and all these other shit. You guys remember Sally Jesse Raphael? I would smash Sally Jesse Raphael, first of all. I'd smash Sally Jesse Raphael. Who else would I smash? I'd smash Ricky Lake. I remember Ricky Lake. Ricky Lake was getting a little thick there in all the right places. I was like, damn, let me tune in and see what Ricky Lake talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, nobody's messing with Ricky Lake. Ah, man, you'd smash Ricky Lake. Knock it off. Who is another one? Now, Sally Jesse Raphael sometimes can get it with those glasses. Like, she can kind of get it. But yeah, so I'm watching all of this, on these news stations and gossips and tabloids and magazines. Like, yeah, it sounds like everybody agrees with me. Too young to follow a trial, even know where to follow the trial. But I'm getting bits and pieces, right? So I'm hearing the trial. Okay, it's still going on. Apparently, I have no idea what's going on. But I do remember hearing things, nothing specific that I could point to, but I remember hearing adults upset and saying that if this doesn't go a certain way, things will be bad. I just remember hearing, I can't remember what specifically I heard, but I remember something along those lines, right? So I'm like, damn, okay, whatever. Still outside playing, riding my bike, not caring, not knowing that one of the biggest news stories is about to just explode right here in my city. We had just moved from Long Beach to Bell Gardens at that time. Bell Gardens by East LA. Bell Gardens is 10 miles from where the epicenter of where everything started. I'd say conservatively 10, 12 miles. I don't know. But anyway, right there. So I just remember turning the TV on and all the news channels. 4 officers who were charged with the beating of Rodney King were found not guilty of excessive force. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Coon, not guilty. The only guy I remember his name was Coon for some reason. I was like, how ironic is that?
Okay, I'm here outside Parker Center where protesters have descended on the place. It was during Chief Gates' news conference. They got here. It's been growing steadily. With me is one of the protesters. He cannot give his name, but tell me, how do you feel about all of this?
I feel that it's a great travesty of justice. I feel that the jury in Simi Valley gave the okay to continue to abuse and oppress and suppress black people in this country. I feel that there is an undercurrent of racism and that the system is rotten to the core. And I couldn't sit in my home and just watch it on television. I had to come here and let my voice be heard.
Where are these people from? And Pat, maybe you can go and show a little bit of the protest here. Where are these people from?
I think most of them, like myself, came down as individuals. I think we just decided that we were not going to sit at home and just and like couch potatoes and just watch. We have to be heard.
So these people, this is not an organized effort, you're telling me?
This is not an organized effort. These are concerned citizens. We are the people. We are Rodney King's peers. We are Eula May Love's peers. We are Latasha Harlan's peers, not that jury in Ventura.
And then the proverbial S hit the fan. The shite hit the fan, ladies and gentlemen.
I talked with one lady. It seems like to me the media wants to hype violence. You know, it's not about violence, but if it comes to that, then that's something we have to deal with when it comes about. But I'm like this. I mean, the videotape was self-explanatory. That was just self-explanatory. There's nothing more you can say. I was sitting at home watching TV. My baby was asleep. I was watching HBO or whatever it was, and all of a sudden I flipped the channel and here's the not guilty. I started crying. I mean, that hurt because it was like it happened to me. I could have been his sister.
Next thing I know, I'm turning on the TV and I'm literally seeing my city, Los Angeles County, many parts of Los Angeles on fire.
So as you're seeing the big fires down there, you're certainly seeing smaller fires. They look like they're trying to set a bonfire with the wood remains of this guard shack. They're throwing pieces of the plywood from the guard shack into a small fire. We have smoke now. Do you have video here again?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, now you see the smoke.
We can see the fire.
There you go.
Linda, while we're looking at you, we can tell you now at least 5 major fires have broken out in South Central.
Have the police responded to any of them yet?
It's dark. The fire department responded to one. We have not seen any evidence they've responded to the others.
And I was hooked to the news. I didn't know what was going on. And I regret to say this, and I feel so stupid saying it now as a man who's almost 50 years old. But I remember thinking, this is so cool. We'll teach them. This will never happen again. Oh, boy, was I wrong on that one, huh? Boy, was I wrong on that one. But what do I remember at the time? I just remember seeing people go in and out of shoe stores, in and out of Circuit Cities. You guys remember Circuit City? Taking all the electronics, running out with boom boxes and stuff. And I remember as a 12, 13, 14, whatever. I'm just going to say 12, 13, 14. I'm just keep saying that. It encompasses the whole time. I remember thinking to myself, how is this proving a point? At a certain, I was like, first I thought it was cool. Like, yeah, this is awesome. You know, an uprising. I'm like, oh yeah, man, we're fighting. And then I'm like, wait, these guys are running into Kenny Shoes and Foot Locker, getting shoot. How is that proving a point? How's that gonna? And then that's when I was like, wait, no, this is stupid. This is the dumbest thing ever. I was like, wait, what? First of all, and then I started thinking, why are they burning down their own neighborhoods? Why? I was like, one of my first thoughts, and I think it's all horrible. I was like, why don't they go to Simi Valley and just jack that place up? Why are they doing? Where are they going to shop tomorrow? I remember thinking, well, you're burning down your local store. Where are you going to shop tomorrow? I was 13 years old and thinking this. Where are you going to shop tomorrow? Well, it turned out that was a really bad idea to burn all your stuff down, right? That was a really bad idea. Because then you now you have to go, you're forced to drive 10 miles. Now you got to go to Cerritos to buy your groceries. Now you got to go to Lakewood. Huh? Not smart, right? It's funny how I was thinking, in that sense, I was thinking the same way that I'm thinking now. I was dumb. That was real dumb.
Black smoke pouring into the sky all over town. That's what Los Angeles looks like this morning. We can see the extent of the damage and the destruction wrought by last night's fires and rioting. There are firefighters at work, but obviously there's nothing they can do to stop the looting. And, these are businesses where the glass has already been broken out and people are just freely walking in and out brazenly, taking whatever they want. And they're just kind of randomly running along the street, breaking windows where they can, and beginning to loot.
Eric, I'm going to interrupt you. We've just received a bulletin, an urgent bulletin from Mayor Bradley. The curfew now extends to the entire city of Los Angeles.
But a lot went on. I remember also Reginald Denny. Reginald Denny stands out to me, and I remember thinking that is so sad what they're doing to this guy.
Attacking everyone that comes to a stop here at this intersection. Rocks and bottles being thrown at another car. They're now pulling the door off the car. If you are in this area, you don't want to come down here. Now they're pulling the driver out. They're kicking the driver and beating the driver.
They had this guy, Damian Football Williams. And there were bricks involved and heads, and it's not cool. You can always look at the video online if you want to see it. Horrible situation. White dude's driving in his truck, doesn't know that the biggest riot that those 4 cops had just been found not guilty of excessive force, and he is smack dab in the middle of South Central. Talk about the worst timing in the world. I don't know Mr. Denny, but man, he had some bad timing. That was some bad timing, bro. So Mr. Denny gets pulled out and they whizzes his eyes up. Mr. Denny. Right there. For everybody to see. Right on TV. Something good that did come out of it, though. There could be a silver lining. Something good came out of it. The Watts Gang Peace Treaty.